Morning guys, Mark Fresh with ProTech Dog Training. I'm out here this morning with Rocky, and I wanted to the other day I gave you a little bit of a primer about overshadowing and click treat type of a thing in development. I want to start trying to kind of give you some of these developmental steps that we're using. You saw the bull work. I've introed that to you. I've showed you that hinge back down where he actually hinges backwards, and you're basically, in a nutshell, when you're building a dog, you're doing nothing but putting a big piece of a big puzzle together. And it's how these little pieces and these little lessons go together that add up to the finished product. Okay, so one of the biggest things that you do when you do this is you want to sit back and you want to kind of unconsciously or consciously figure out, what am I going to do with the dog today? Always be thinking ahead. So today what I started thinking was, I'm going to work on the box and be doing my on the move type of a down and getting him to do the hinge back. And we're trying to progress to being able to do this on a down and movement or down on the recall is what it ends up eventually growing to, where the dog will drop on a dime no matter what's going on. You say couché down, the dog is going to drop. Now this is a command that I think is one of the most important ones, along with come, along with my condition heel, where the dog hits my side. This down on the movement or down on the recall is very important in an environmental sense. And when I was a kid, I was out working my dogs. I found that to be very, very useful, especially if I gave the freedom to my dog to be just going out where he wanted to in an environment, which is what I always did as a kid, and I always still do. So out of the blue, I should be able to say, out couché, and the dog will drop down or whatever your command is. And that gives me a control factor that may save his life. Let's say he starts running after another dog, or maybe he's across the street and you've traveled across the street and you plan on giving him a come, which most people would say, well, that's kind of stupid. Well, remember, my dogs are very well trained and they have a lot higher caliber, and I like to show off. So I do all kinds of different things that I do within my environmental showcasing of my animal. And one of those things, the very functional command, is to be able to down that dog on a drop of a hat. I mean, he should be able to down. It doesn't matter what distraction's going on, what's happening around him. It's as important as my conditioned heel, which means the dog should be doing whatever he wants to do. And out of the blue, I should be able to say the dog's name, heel, and that dog will drop whatever it is, doesn't matter. And I build up on that distraction factors to a point where the dog will respond, because it's conditioned behavior that I've conditioned into the animal with repetition and time. Okay, so the down on the drop, the down on the movement, the down on the recall is something that's just as important as all those other commands. Okay, so I'll go over some of this stuff with you as we go along. So today I don't think I'm really even going to give a demo. I'm just going to give a little bit of a working, and keep in mind that you want to think ahead and know what you're going to do before you do it, and then work towards that constructive goal that you've got for that lesson plan that you've got in your head, okay? I do it kind of on the fly. I don't sit down and I don't write it out. I don't sit here and deliberate. It just kind of goes as I feel, and I kind of have an unconscious thought pattern or conscious thought pattern of what I'm going to do with the animal. So today, again, I'm going to give him a down in the box, and I'm going to be working towards his down on the recall, on his down on the movement. So at first we start our downs from our side. The dog is not moving. And then as we go along, we start asking the dog to down and drop as we're moving, as we're walking. I call it down on the walk, okay? And then that progresses into a down on the recall, all right? So I'm going to try to build up on that over the next few weeks and see if I can get somebody to film me teaching the dog to do this, so that you guys can get an idea of how we progress it, how we put those pieces of the puzzle together, okay? So if you see this stuff that's out here, Rocky, yep, I've done this before where I've shown you guys some of this agility. We've got a lot more coming in the next year. This next summer, we're going to be building this out. I've got a bunch of stuff that I've basically grabbed the design ideas from other trainers and other facilities that I bounce around to when I go all over LA and all over my area. I mix with a lot of different trainers, so that gives me the opportunity to see what they're using, how they're doing things, and to try to incorporate it into my environment. Keep in mind that it doesn't matter who you are as a dog trainer. You might want to look at it as steel. Every idea, everything that I can possibly get out there, I am going to grab it and call it my own if it's functional and it works well. Okay, so right now we've got a door with a window, a small little door. I'm going to take him off his chain. Come here, Rocky. Good boy. And again, we don't have a film person today, so I'm out here by myself. Rocky, good boy. All right, let's go. Up, yeah. Good. Falls into my side, and I'm going to put him through that window. And the way I'm going to do it is with driving with toys. I've got a tug toy here. Rocky. Up, yeah. Couche. Nope. Notice his drive level, okay? Be very cognizant of the dog's drive level. Food will cause one drive level. You get a lot of ability to be able to repeat and do a lot of things with food. Once you go into toys, brain goes out to lunch a little bit when you have a high drive dog like this, and you've got to compensate and deal with the drive state of the animal and what it causes within your training, okay? We'll talk about that later as we go along as well. So what I'm going to do now, Rocky, hop. Nope. Now he went around. Now what happens there? Okay, he starts to learn a bad behavior and he won't go through the window. So what I got to do is control factor. Rocky, out. Nope, out. Couche, pas bouger. No, couche. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat. I'm going to actually hang it in the window. See if I can get him to do it. If not, I'll have to have a leash and I'll have to guide him through. Don't let him have that behavior. So I threw it and it went through the window, through into the ground, and it allowed him to go around this door instead of through it. So now my objective is to get him to go over instead of around. Hop, hop. Good boy, good. And notice he went right after the toy. I basically held it right there for him to get out. Good, opiate. Good, couche. Now this would be called the loose training day. I could get out here and run a ball real crazy for him and then start doing some agility, and we would have a basic obedience, but then we would run it what I call a loose training day, which means we're more after the physical and wearing the dog out and building muscle and drive. If we build muscle and drive, it's going to change the dog's mental outlook on what he's doing and physically build him, because we want an athlete. That's what we're building. We're building an athlete. Rocky, hop. Yeah, good. All right, good boy. All right, one more time, out. And I don't know what that looks like. We'll have to get it on film with somebody up here filming me. Rocky, out. Good. Couche, good. This time I'm going to try to lead into it with throwing it again. He may make the mistake and not do it, so we'll find out. Oh, get my fingers out of the way. Rocky, no. Come here. Come here, couche. And again, I'm not in tune with him 100% because I've got a camera in my hand, so it makes it tough. Couche. Notice how his elbows and his ass are not on the ground. I want him all the way. Couche. Good. Rocky. Hop. Yeah, good boy. Good. There you go. Good. And I'm fighting the camera, and I'm trying to do this with talking to you guys. So, Rocky, out. Out. No. Out. Good. And I can get that increased. All right, so now we're going to put the toy away, and look what happens here. Couche. Done. Good. I've got an actual command for him where I tell him he's done, and I show him my hands and realize and teach him basically with my behavior patterns that the game is over with. Done. Good boy. Let's go. Come on. Good boy. So now I'm going to try to go back to food. When the dog's already escalated in drive like this, he should be able to slip back into food. Good boy. You ready? Ready? And we're going to go up over this crazy 8, what I call it. And he does it on his own. Notice it? It's almost like self on pilot. Rocky, couche. Nope. Couche. Yep. And I'm going to make him do it again because he didn't do it as he was told. Good boy. Couche. Good. That's my boy. Good. Yep. Good boy. Rocky, couche. Nope. No. Yep. Come on. Good. He's being robbed of his reward. The reward basically is, remember, the toy goes into drive at the end of things. Rocky. Nope. Come on. And I'm sitting here yakking at you and not in tune with the dog as usual. Rocky, couche. Good. Good. Yep. Rocky, couche. Good. Yep. Couche. Yes. Good boy. Basically told him he needed to work and do what he was supposed to do before he got his reward. So little patterns like that are real important if you can convey to the dog what you're after, which is basically robbing him of his reward until he does the thing the right way or the way you want it to be happening. Rocky, out. Good. Nope. Out. Good. Pas bouger. Good. So what we do with this is I work a lot on this towards conditioning the animal, getting him used to those downs in the walk. So that's how we do this, is we put it into our routine for this. Good boy, Rocky. Hop, hop, couche. No. Yep. Good boy. Rocky, hop, couche. Nope. Good. Hop, hop. Good boy. Hop, couche. Good. Yep. Good. I don't usually come back the other way because it's harder. Couche. Notice I've got that rough on the boards. There's a rough finish on that, kind of like a paint over gravel that gives him a little bit more leverage. This one doesn't have it. Couche. Good. Yep. Hup. Couche. Nope. Nope. Yep. Come on. Let's go. He's waiting for his couche. Nope. Come on. Couche. Good, good. He's waiting for his reward, which is basically coming out of the pipe. In other words, wherever I've got him at, I'm going to give him a yes, and I'm going to throw this ball off into the field. He knows that because it's a pattern of routine that we do this. But I make it intermittent. I've got 3 benches to play with. I might do it down on the first one. I might do it down on the third one. And then when he least expects it, I throw it. And I'm asking him to stay in a working mode until he finally gets his release into that toy. Yep. Good boy. Hup, hup, couche. Nope. Good, good. Yes, good boy, and into the toy. Okay, so you want to make sure when you do that, and you condition the dog to have an explosion release like I do, that you, in the drive, that you do it in such a way the dog's not going to hurt himself. But you build it into your training routine so you have that to play with. All this stuff is nothing more than little pieces of a puzzle that I can use. I'll give you a good example of that. Rocky, out. Good. When we work towards his obedience, Rocky, opie, couche, opie, couche. Good. Assi, couche. Yes, good boy. Did a nice little hinge back on me for me there. So that's why I did the reward. We have what's called bridge behaviors, okay? Out. Good. Nope. Out. Good. Done. Good. Couche. Nope. Good. You're not down yet, fool. Getting on 12 minutes already for this video. Assi. Couche. Nope. So what I'll do is I'll ask the dog, and I can't do this with a camera in my hand. I was going to have him do the little exercise called touch, where I'd throw my hand out there and ask him to touch that hand, and then I'd give him a marker word, which is yes, and I feed him with the other hand. So he starts learning to go to one and do an exercise, do something with energy, meaning then you actually tell him yes, and you give him his toy or his reward from the other side. Okay? Rocky, couche. And I'll see if I can demo that too. I need a camera person to demo a lot of this stuff. I'll try to do that over the next few weeks. We'll start trying to show you guys a little bit more of those pieces of the puzzle and give you an explanation of how I got him to do that. Example of that would be if I ask him from right in here, couche, and I put the ball under my arm and I ask him to heel, he will spin around and hit my side. Rocky, up, yeah. And there he is. He's right at my side. And then I give him a pause. Yes. And then my toy. And notice there was a little pause in between the marker and then the reward. And the reason we do that is we don't want the dog jumping up into our arm all the time when he gets his reward marker and gets told he's okay and go grab it. Rocky, out! So I give a little bit of a pause, and we start building in pauses so that he understands that just because he hears his marker word, there may be a 30-second delay until he finally gets his reward. We do that for a little bit more advanced work. We don't do it in the beginning. Mostly in the beginning, we actually time the marker with the reward pretty dang close. Good boy. Back. Good. There you go. Look at him. He's in drive. Good. And when I come back to him with a toy, watch this. Good. He'll back up. I see. And he knows the rules. The rules, he can't have this until I give him his marker word. Couche. Yes. And then I broke him backwards instead of forward. Because we're trying to ground the dog and get him to stay in a down position. Stay is one of the most important things that we use when we're doing a lot of the competition type stuff. Rocky, out. Good. That breaking that down when he's in drive, wanting to go after the bad guy or wanting to go after the decoy helper on the field, those sort of things, you want to make sure he's got a rock solid down. So you see me doing this a lot, where I'll go away from the dog, and I'll say, walk out. I'll stop in my circle. I'll go like this now. I'm walking away from him. I turn around. There's the dog. Couché. I ground the dog with a couché, and I come back towards him. Either go around his body or push him back with the toy, and he knows what's happening here. Couché, pas bouger. And notice the drive state of the animal. His drive state is really hyped. Aussie. Couché. Good. Opié. Now I've got a problem. Couché. Good. Where I've done that couché and swing back so much that now he's actually moving backwards every time he downs. And I would probably lose some points on that on the training field, but it looks good. Rocky. Yes. And we went backwards with it, right? So, all right, I'm going to stop on this. I'm getting a little bit fragmented in my my thought process and what I can do to try to help you guys build your dogs. So we'll work a little bit harder on that next time. So if I can get somebody to come out and film me, I can stay centered a little bit better. It's hard to when we got couché. Rocky out. Good. Pas bouger. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.